Ooh, I see you. How are you doing on this sexy but sweet Saturday? It's a little chilly here in the Sunshine State. There's a little overcast. So of course I'll keep a little scarf on just to keep me warm. Feel like I'm being embraced. Woohoo! Little garnet for my many travels around the world living in Italy, right? So, buongiorno, buon sabato. Sabato is Saturday in Italian. Come va? Come stai? Come voi? Come siamo? How are we all? I have a little something in my eye. I have all sorts of goodies to share today. Yay! I went to the market today and I found purslane! If you haven't seen my video on purslane, you don't know how much I like purslane. I'm serious when I say that. Who out there has ever had purslane? Tell me in the comments if you had purslane. This is like the bomb diggity, y'all. So, I'm pretty stoked. I got 3 bunches of it. $1 a bunch. Actually, I spent about $6, $7 for parking. No big deal. Got some mustard greens or bok choy greens, actually. They come from the choy family. Look. Choy, choy, choy. Hi, Holly. How are you, darling? Hi, Winona. I'm picking out from the greens. Can you see me? Oh, peekaboo. It really feels like a peekaboo Saturday, doesn't it? Because peekaboo, I see you through the greens. And today we're going to make mini apple torts, fresh, with apples and all. And walnuts, too. Darcy, you haven't? Well, guess what? This. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. It's purslane. I'm in the mood for purslane. Oh, seriously, like, this is only 2 bunches, people. $1 a bunch. This is basically a weed. Most people try to kill this off. This stuff is better than fishies. Don't kill the fishies. You can eat your purslane and get your fatty omegas from the purslane. Super high and all sorts of antioxidants. Beneficial. You gotta get you some purslane. Just saying. This is how much purslane I got. Right? $3. $3. Right? Purslane. Purslane. The mighty purslane. Yes, Corey. Do you like purslane, Corey? I actually tried to grow some because I found some when I was walking Buddy one day. Oh no, that was before Buddy. I stuck it in one of my pots and it didn't take so well, but then all of a sudden, guess what? And the purslane came back the very next month. It took about a month and it came back anyway. Now you get to see it, right? So it comes from the portulaca family, which is the Latin term. See these little round leaves and everything? Those seeds, there's actually seeds. So this is the cool part. I'll tell you what, I could just stand here and talk about purslane all day, but I really am excited about making this apple tort with y'all. Because I got so many apples the other day. Looky, looky, looky. So in here, see this little part here? It makes a little itty bitty flower. Now, if you've ever seen portulaca has like all different vibrant colors, like yellows and oranges and reds and everything. Oh my gosh, that's awesome, Corey. You are spoiled. I'll tell you what. Where are you? Tell me in the comments where you're tuning in from. Tell me your fitness and health goals. What is it in your life are your overall goals? Because, sharing's caring. So share information about yourself, and I want to get to know y'all. And I'll keep up on what you're writing in the comments as much as possible. So you can plant when these seed right in here. Can you see this where my middle finger is? No, I'm not flipping you a bird. See that right there, right up above my middle finger? Right here, under my pointer finger. This is where it'll flower, and there's seeds in here, and you can take the seeds and throw them in the dirt. And the thing that I understand, anything that grows wild is even more beneficial and nutritious. I'm constantly learning, and I love wild edibles. Foraging is amazing, and I really want to take more classes and learn more about it. Because when I was a little girl, we moved from Boston because the crime was so bad in the late 70s, early 80s, to a farm. My parents wanted to give us a better life, right? Look at how, and it's very, it's kind of like a little like, what's the word I'm looking for? Because the wet, it likes a lot of wetness. But they brought us to the farm. It was a mini farm, we'll call it, because they want us to have exposure to like the countryside. And it was a little tough moving away from family, but that's okay. We had fresh and what seemed like wild. Apparently, when I was growing up, I didn't know that the woman that lived in the house before us was from Germany originally. So she had plum trees, we had rhubarb, we had blackberries, we had raspberries, we had wild strawberries, the little itty bitty strawberries growing. We had, they call them fragolini in Italian. What else did they have? We had all sorts of beautiful irises and lilies and flowers and lilac bush, tree, zinnia, you name it. We had all sorts of beautiful foliage to appreciate and grow up in. And I never really, I kind of took it for granted because that's what I was. See, Dartmouth. I'm originally from Boston. But yeah, and to move out of that environment to go up north was complete, like, it was a little bit of a culture shock because we were so used to being around our family. And a big family too, Irish Catholic, right? Chives, I've got chives in the backyard too. And the flowers are so pretty. Those little purple flowers are awesome sauce. Apple trees, right? You ever wanted to find me, you find me up in a tree. Either I'd be picking the apples, and yes, I made applesauce when I was a kid too, but the old-fashioned bake in the oven type. Now I just make it in the blender or the food processor because it's so much better. Those itty bitty strawberries are so delicious. Blackberries, people, moro, mori in Italian, yummy. See, so as you can tell, this to me is like gold. These are so cute. They're so cute. They're the prettiest little happy plant that wants to fill your belly, fill your body with nutrients. Yumminess. And like I said, I got this too. This is like mustardy, and I love mustard. I like spice. Anybody out there like spice? Because spice makes everything nice. Oh, look, it even brought a buggy back. It's a wormy. This, I don't know if this is beneficial or not. Let me see if I can show you this little critter. I'm not trying to hurt you, honey. Just grab on. Well, you know you got it fresh when the bugs are still alive. Can you see that little guy? Isn't that cool? Oops. He says, not so cool. I'm not trying to go. Ha. So today on Lana's Nature Family here, he's not happy about this whole situation. He's trying to hide underneath one of my crystals. I can just imagine working in an orchid. So my dad had moved to New York and was working for IBM and up in the, what's it considered, the Poughkeepsie Valley. And he used to go, he's a quick critter too, by the way. Used to go picking the apples. When he went up to visit my sister who's in Ithaca, New York now, he came back with a couple bushel of apples, all different varieties. I know you're gonna make it out. Okay, here we go. He's a fast little critter, that's all I'm gonna say. Look at him, he's like, I want out of here now. So, sometimes these buggies, and he's got, look at that. He's hanging on by a thread. Can y'all see him? I know, now I'm enamored by this little guy. See if the focus comes in well enough. It's kind of cool. Yes! Who else out there is fascinated? Are you gardeners? You know what? Share this in some gardening groups. You never know. We're always learning around here, and I'm always willing to hear what's the benefit to having some of these critters in the garden. Because what I found is, through research, I want to learn more about what this companion gardening is and what's the best way to put things together. Everybody needs a buddy, right? Even the plants do too. Keeps the critters down. Just in here, what herb is it that I'm showing? Okay, so I had purslane out. Have you had purslane? And then I had the bok choy greens, or I think they said it's even related to the mustard family. They're really spicy and really yummy. So, I got all sorts of goodies today. I'm just excited. Like I said, I didn't get much, but it was enough to make me happy that the purslane was worth the trip. Along with, if you can see behind me, I have a new friend to introduce to all of y'all. His name's Banana Splits. He's a troll. It's all good. So, let me introduce you to my little friend. Don't you love his rad yellow hair? And look at that smile. Who can't love a smile like that? Kisses. Mwah! Mwah! So we haven't played in the kitchen for a while. Banana Splits is my new addition. It was a beautiful gift for Valentine's Day. And you know where he hangs out? He watches over me when I'm in the kitchen. He sits in my spice cupboard over here. So he's like, just in case you wonder where I am, I'm over here. Now you see me? Now you don't. Near? Far. Anybody else like Sesame Street? Grover? Near? Far. Near? Far. Hey, listen, come on. We all have an inner child inside of us. We need to get our play on and have some fun, especially with the way things been cray-cray around the world, right? Sometimes we need to return to the simplest things of life. And that could be just looking in the mirror and making yourself smile or laugh. Just saying. I got my eyeballs on you. I want to see you have fun. I want you to come out of your hiding and play. Let your inner child out and dance all about. Okay. I feel like we need like a little bit of a jolt out of the humdrum of the usual weekend. So, another really cool rad thing. Oh my gosh, it's grown. I have onions. Bring, bring, bring. Bring, bring, bring. Hi, Marie. Please tell me in the comments where you're tuning in from. What are your health and fitness goals? What is it you want out of life? Where are you living? Where you want to live? Aren't these rad? So here in Florida, these are strawberry onions. Oh, I wish you could smell a vision this. Look at this. It's kind of cool because I got a feeling that when I split this one open, it's got a butt. It means it's two butted up against each other. It's buddies, right? The smell is amazing. So these are actually sweeter than your Vidalia onions. So if you like sweet onions, these are the ones to get. They're huge. They're huge. Big onions. Oh, oui, oui, mon frère. Onion hair. Look, it's like me. I'm feeling a little silly today. You know, actually, you can cut off the ends and probably put the roots in some water and stick them in the dirt. This is one of my little passions. Sometimes I'll do that. Over here on the side, because everything around my kitchen is kind of like an experimental. Everything's okay. That noise. Pay no attention to the noises on the backside. Just saying. So, like, for example, in here, this is from, can anyone guess? Celery. Say it in Italian. Celery, you put some water at the base and it'll grow roots, and you can just stick that in dirt. Once the roots, you don't even need the dirt, the water actually. You can just stick it in the dirt, and what will happen is it will shoot up from the center. Isn't that rad? I love that. This is the beauty of nature. It regenerates, it restores. It will come back. Even if we destroy it, which I'm not recommending we do, try to do the best we can, right? So yeah, when you see roots, stick them in some water or some dirt. You could be growing your own soon in no time. I tend to throw seeds out and not think about it. I don't know everything. I just kind of experimental. And this is the Alchemist Kitchen here, the Love Lab. Or Lana's Love Lab, whatever you want to call it. See this word up here? Love. Can you read it with me? Wait, let's go this way. Love, with all those trolls up above the microwave. I'm in the mood for love. So we have a lot of stuff going on in the kitchen as it is. I woke up to a lot of kimchi juice. I've got lots of jalapenos over here too. So checky. I've been refilling because what I do, if you're a kimchi lover like I am, Daddy came over the other day and it was kind of fun because I said, hey, did you want to try the kimchi? Because he loves spicy. And I put some in a jar for him to take home along with the kombucha because he usually comes for restocking on his kombucha. And what happens is you see how much that lowered because, ooh, it felt like it dripped, but it didn't. And so you see how this pop, it's got a bubble. It's because it's got so much. Can you hear that? Shh. Because the pressure builds up. See, this is what happens with fermentation. And why it's so nice if you have a German crock and you have the weight and you can keep everything down and submerged underneath the brine, the water, because then you don't have to worry about everything going, which, trust me, I've got many stories to tell. This morning was enough. This morning was literally a whole sea on top of the oven, the stove top, which I don't mind because at least I know it's all glass and I don't have to worry about it seeping in. Oh, can you hear this? And it's bubbling. Isn't that cool? So fermentation is actually just another form of nature cooking, right? It's a transition. It's pretty rad when you think about it. Look at that. I kid you not, the temperature in this house is like 65 or 9, something like that. It's cold. That's why I have a scarf around my neck. Can you hear the bubbles though? Is that rad? Anybody else out there make your own kimchi? So Dad really enjoyed it. And of course that warms my heart because he's a picky eater, by the way. And sometimes he does it. For my dad to give praise on stuff, that's a lot. That's saying a lot. So I was quite impressed and happy that he enjoyed it because of course I gave him a jar to take home. So yeah, this is definitely some really potent kombucha, or kimchi. It starts with a K. Where can you get your recipes? Anna, you know, we have a lot of recipes within the group. Are you in the group? That's the first question. And where am I from? Originally from Boston, but moved a lot around over the course of my life. We lived in Maine, Massachusetts, New York, Florida. I was stationed in Omaha. I was in the Air Force for over 10 years. Wow, I'm really impressed. So, you know, I found that when you go with the cycles of the moon, it's really, really interesting to watch. Not only are we affected by the phases of the moon, ladies can attest during your moon cycles, but if you look around, animals are affected, plants are affected, how you grow things, how you ferment. The bacteria itself is its own living organism, and it feeds during certain cycles, right? So right now, we're coming off the waning. We're coming up to a new moon this coming week, if I recall. It was about a week and a half ago that we just had a full moon. A little over a week ago, like 10 days. 9-10 days, something like that. Hi, Cheryl. How are you, darling? So this is so rad because it was bubbled over. Like I said, I had a pool of this beautiful ruby red color. I mean, you can't beat the colors. That's usually what gets me, is how gorgeous the colors are. Hi, Laura. How are you, honey? Tell me how everybody's doing on this sexy Saturday. How are you exercising self-love, right? It's all about the love, especially in this house. Hey, Anderson, you're in Florida too. What part of Florida are you in? Oh, check it out. So I pushed that down. I'm going to have to keep my eye on it because I'm going to have pools of kimchi all over the counter again. And I have two, so I have to check the other one as well. Looky, looky, it's doing exactly the same thing. See how the top of this is? See how there's a bubble on that white? Ooh, partly cloudy in Pennsylvania. It is here in Clearwater as well. It is definitely, we're supposed to get rain tomorrow from my understanding. Kelly's also in Florida. Wowza. Like, seriously? You would think I was cooking this. Can you hear the pop, pop, fizz, fizz? That is so rad. I'm having like a total fascination with how much my kombucha is just going, yeah, we're alive. See, this is living Whole Foods, right? Whole Foods, real stuff. So what I have to do is push it down again because I don't have the weight to put in there. I mean, it needs the aerobic and the anaerobic, but too much of one or the other will offset your whole balance, from my understanding. And so most of the stuff I intuitively do. Hi, Odalie. How are you, beautiful? I know it's been a while since I played in the kitchen, huh? I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty excited. Can you tell I'm just excited because of just this? Oh, I say it is talking, right? The food is alive. Kimchi is alive. It says I'm spicy and I'm wanting to reach out and give you some heat, right? It's really cool. And I literally just filled it back up with more cabbage.
I want to try that.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the extra red pepper?
I forgot.
You forgot? Can I get some of the juice?
Of course you can, hon. Would you like to? How much would you like?
I just wanted to sip on some Cesar just off the spoon. Oh no, I can't do that, huh?
We can put it in that bowl.
How about,
that says...
can you put spoon on spoon?
Yeah, I could do that. I can definitely do that. Like this?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you want me to get? I'm getting you a bigger spoon. Because you guys.
Hello, Laura.
Make sure you get a good one.
Y'all share this for Miss Lana. I'll do 10 Love Spin Booms right now if 10 people share it into a food group. Ready? 10 Love Spin Booms. Let me get this rad
Get some heat,
juice in
some
here.
spicy in his
This
belly.
kimchi is next level, y'all.
He is such a ninja. I know that's spicy.
It looks like wine in a box, but way better.
Hi, Rachel. She says, hi, Tom. Hello.
Hi, Rachel. All right, 10 Love Spin Booms. And you just keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to shave my head again, y'all, today. Get rid of all this little salt and pepper. Share this right now. Let's have 100 right now for Miss Lana. Ready? Remember, every Love Spin Boom, you burn 900 calories. Ready? Let's do it with me. Get up. First, share it into 1 or 2 groups. Then get up. Do 10 bodyweight squats. 1. My hammies are so good right now. No soreness, y'all. Feeling good. Been playing outside 5 days in a row now. I got my SARMs on. 8 bananas a day. 8 ounces of oatmeal. 8 eggs. Yes, I'm eating eggs again. I feel good. Look at boom, 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 boom. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is
This has
to
the apple
ride
in
a
it.
one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Boom! Boom! That's 1,800. Boom! Boom! Boom!
What? Hubba, hubba. Ooh.
Y'all want it? Should I give it to him, honey?
Give it to him, baby.
Whoosha!
Show him what you got. This one's really good. Odalie says you're so energetic. Isn't that good?
The
There's
other
a piece
one,
of apples in it.
the other one's different. They're both good. That one's not as spicy.
Actually, this is spicier of the two, I thought.
Is it?
I thought so. I'm telling you, this is like next level. Get up, stand up. Stand up for your love. Get up, stand up. Dun, 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 dun.
You want to do something really cool, you guys? Watch this. Do a face workout. Go like this for like 20 seconds. Whatever your face feels like it's got to do. It feels so good. Just go outside, lay on your back, and get grounded. You know why men have less wrinkles sometimes? Because when they shave, they have to pull their skin like this. So, other than that, I feel so good. There's no rules. There's no... do whatever it says. It feels really, really good. And then the bottom of your eyes will pop. I'm almost there. I did it. Look. See? I'll be back.
Now he's got me eating kimchi. This stuff's so good. Well, that and I need to make a little space so I can fill it up again. Because you know that's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one, just because I wanted to see the sweet and spicy, I added some apple crispy. Ooh, it's right there. Some apple chunks. Yummy. This has onion and garlic, extra ginger. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I'm sorry to get distracted in the kimchi realm over here. I'm going to transfer from spoon to spoon. Hey, Dad. So, Dad, tell everyone how good the kimchi is. He brought back a jar. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, so good. So, what I was saying was that basically the kimchi is so alive. I had to stir it up because it was coming out of the jar onto the stovetop. You know, it's all good. A little kimchi juice never hurt anybody. It makes a belly good, right? So I'll show you again. And when I first opened it, those of you who were already on, you saw that it was... Marie, I'm not cooking specifically, but I'm about to make up some this fresh mini apple torts. Tarty torts. Ooh. Yeah, all of us Floridians should get together for some rad raw reunion. So, see, there's that much gap of space. It's so alive, though. I'm telling you, it'll come up to the top. That's why this thing has this punctures. It's all the air that comes out. Because the fermentation byproduct creates that extra gas. Now this, la pièce de résistance, la crème, le fromage. Now, when I first filled this is about this far up, and it has... So when you see this, right? These are macadamia nuts I use to make a cream cheese. Basically a cheese. Very simple. All I did, I added kimchi, some chickpea miso. I'm going to open it up here in a second after I shake it a little. Nutritional yeast. The Macs weren't raw. They were already salted and roasted, so... Aw, thank you so much, Monica. Super easy. I just made this up last night. Stuck it on the stovetop. See all that? Oh yeah, I knew what he was. Looky. And because someone's been juicing for me.
We made these out of the juice clippings, and they're like the best crispy, what chippy chippies.
Yum.
Tell them what's in there.
Let's see, beets, celery, lemon, ginger, garlic, onion, carrot, apple, curry powder, some Italian herb, flax seeds and flax ground, and I think that, and I did use some kimchi in it. I'm excited to try this.
Can you put with the cheese? That cheese is so good.
Hold on, I want to stir it up first.
We got the macadamia nuts at Costco. It was a pound and a half for $18. They're roasted and salted, which is, okay, but prefer to get them raw. Honestly, it kind of smells. It smells like a McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese. That cheese does. It's so weird. It's
But
really,
I
really
even
good.
agreed with that. I was like, holy. Do you want to try it without it? Do you want to try the cheese separate first? Or with
Nope.
it? He's so cute. I swear that was a teaser. Oh my god.
Real food, y'all. Real food. And I used to juice a lot, and I'm so glad that she said, hey, let's make some what Crispy Krispies out of there. And look at that. You get a cracker, too. Right? You get a cracker. You know, a bag of these could be like $8.
I'm serious, Monica. It is really, really
That's
good.
good. Sexy Saturday. This deserves the sexy face. We got to give it a sexy face. You first. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't know what my face looks like when I look at you sometimes.
You gotta turn and then you gotta hit him with it
You
like
mean
this. Right. Yeah, that was pretty good. I like that. You gotta hit him like this. This is like my dad's side. This is like my sit the bench for NSYNC side. This is my dad's side though. I don't know what's up with that.
What do you mean? Is that how you look?
This side's way better, especially if I come up like this.
Ooh. It's one of these. It's like, ooh, baby. I was dehydrating those. That's what on the dehydrator's in the corner over here. So this is on a dehydrator at 115 degrees. Super yum. Wowza. And what I was thinking to do is I was going to make little pizzas later. But yeah, I can make a tomato sauce and then just put some greens on it and some olives and this cheese drizzled. Make it with some shredded like carrots and yum. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I also got a shallot in the refrigerator that I didn't end up eating last night that has the watercress. I found the red watercress the other day. Have you all ever had the red watercress? It's different. Not much. I'm trying to clean up my little mess over here. Now I'm hooked on the cheese, right? I'm going to tell you, Laura, where I bought that was at Aldi's for like $25-30. I think it was 30. Let me show you this watercress. I usually will reuse as much as possible. It doesn't take much to get hungry watching us, I'm sure. You see how there's the deeper leaves? And so it's a lot more purple and this vibrant green. And what I really like to do, you can dehydrate in the oven. It does take a whole lot longer. And I'm thinking probably more energy. But I could be wrong. So these, so amazing. These are great chelators. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Yes, we come on here to tease you and to tempt you to go and find yourself some food in your refrigerator. Isn't that how that works, right? So if you have the ingredients, I'll give you a quick rundown on the ingredients we're going to use to make these mini apple tarts. I keep changing it because I think they're adorable. And I love to call tarts torts and torts tarts. I'm totally missing my mouth apparently. So here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna need at least 3 cups of apples, and you can do whatever type of apples you want, because I've got Pink Ladies, I've got Fuji's, I've got green, and I've got the Golden Delicious and Fuji's, all mixed up over here. This counter is completely covered. This is the cracker that Tom pulled out. Now I'm a little hooked on these at the moment. So this will go back in the dehydrator for now. If you know, the beauty of the dehydrator is it's good for warming foods up too. The key is that I got this beautiful cheese that now I'm really hooked on. Now I'm going to pour myself a glass of kombucha before we start this process. And like I said, you need 2 cups of apples. You're going to dice them. 3 cups. 2 cups will be roughly diced because they're going to go in the food processor. And the other are going to be finely diced because they're going to be on top, right? We're going to have 3 cups of dates because you know we love us some dates around here. Wow. This is really, really good. I was originally just planning to show you, not to sit here and eat it because it was so good. It's super yum. So, also you're going to need at least a half a cup of walnuts, 1 lemon juiced, half is going to be in the cream, the other half is going to be in with the apples. I may double this recipe up if I haven't done this in a while, and I make all sorts of different apple cobblers and things. I usually just don't write down the recipes, I just throw it all together. So I'll play with this a little bit. Despite what I've got written down, it's free for all when I'm in here. What's ASMR video, please? Yeah, those crackers turned out really good. That was my first time making those, by the way.
Did I hear ASMR video?
Yeah, what is that?
I think that means out my toe.
No, not my baby's toe. Do we have to have emergency?
Have you ever split your toe between a stool? It really, really hurts. But I think AMSR is when you whisper like this. And sometimes it's really, really hard. Look at Miss Lana over my shoulder. So we're going to challenge Miss Lana to whisper for the next 5 minutes. Boom.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab the kombucha and I'm going to have some in the glass. Because I made up some blueberry kombucha the other day. Looky. It's not as fizzy as the other one was. But see, I had to send Dad home with kombucha.
I want some of that kombucha.
Okay, no problem. Where's your glass?
Look at all this food, y'all.
This is what I made last night for
Come
dinner.
over.
But the problem is I lost my appetite because my belly's been really acting up badly.
She has the biggest baboofas right now. I'm telling you, the loudest baboofas I've ever heard in my life. She hit 3 back-to-back baboofas, all-time baboofas in the world. I'll put her up against anyone. I mean, I promise.
He makes me laugh so much. So in here we have jalapenos. I put the mixed greens in there along with the watercress that I just showed you, the purple stuff. Some yellow pepper, some strawberries, some curry powder, some lemon squeeze. challenged. Gabrielle, I've been challenged. Is it Gabriel or Gabriel? I was challenged to whisper for the next 5 minutes. So that's what I'm doing. So when you whisper, it's easier to keep your tone down, and it requires a lot of patience and perseverance to communicate properly. Hi, Leanne. How are you, honey? So, Mom and I were talking about coping mechanisms and how I was never really taught how to express my emotions or to speak. So when I was younger, I used to hold on to a lot of emotion, and it was mostly because things will trigger me and it'll bring me back into that. What happens is it's like I withdraw, I go within, and I feel a little bit shut down. So if something triggers me, I shut down and I go inside. It's not necessarily a healthy coping mechanism, but it's an old pattern that I had from growing up. Put this back in the fridge. Oh, you're so funny, Carl. We love you. I can't wait, Carl, until you go live. That is gonna be the highlight of my day of this year for me. If you go live in the group, Carl, dude, we're on top of you. We want to see you shine. Great. Oh my God, that's awesome, Sarai. I love that. So we got some blueberry kombucha, and I gotta pour 2 glasses, one for me and one for Tom. And so, like I was speaking about, I did that video on Shits and Giggles, and it really was about how a lot of IBS and my personal stress is it's food related, but it's also stress related. So when I feel a trigger or something emotionally makes me feel uneasy, or I feel the discomfort, my stomach is the first thing to suffer, and the pain. So yeah, if I have like an altercation or a situation, it's difficult, and so I'm still learning to express myself properly. Aren't we all? I think that's really what life is trying to find our inner voice so that we don't hold on to things and suppress them. We have to learn to release them. At least reflecting on it allows you to be aware of it and mindful enough to shift and change it. Because the more we look at it and confront it, the more we're able to heal it and move through it and allow that energy to move through. So my hair is feeling a little loose. Okay, so another glass is needed for this. Oh, Carl, we love you too. Oh, we love you too, Laura. When you get a chance, just come back. I'll probably still be here. Love you too, Sarai. You're the bomb, diggity girl. I think someone needs to dance for me. Cheers in the love glass, because you know love is the truth. My mother sent these to me.
We don't have to whisper anymore. Boom! I want some.
I can be the one with the most.
Look what I got at Costco. Not raw, but it's real good. Thank you.
I swear.
You don't have to whisper anymore!
Oh, are you upset that I'm whispering now? Because now I'm even more accustomed to get me more whisper time. Get me cray tangles.
Cray? You want cray angles? You cheese at Subway.
OMG, someone sent me the funniest message about Subway, and it had all the different chains in the message, and like, you remember the story of a candy bar? It was like that. Do I have something on my teeth?
No, I'm just showing how white mine are. Cray Cray Dangles is at Subway. He was at Arby's yesterday. He was at McDonald's. Cray Cray Dangles. Who likes Cray Cray Dangles? We all have a little Cray Cray in us. The Cray Cray Dangles is at Subway right now. But if he comes, I'll let him come in here. Okay, y'all? Alright. I know you got a lot to do. You gotta peel some apples.
Oh, yeah. I need a little flavor in over here.
I'll be back.
Whee! So, I'll still keep the voice volume a little low, but if you need me to speak up, I will. He's scary, Cheryl, I'm telling you. Sometimes I think it's better to have the alter ego. Gotta have a little cray-cray in the house. You don't let the cray-cray out, it could end up becoming something else seething, right? Is that your son?
Yeah!
Gosh, I hope not. No. That's a good one, though. Thank you. Thanks for playing. So, a little cray-cray never hurt anyone, but a lot of kombucha might. So, you know, everything in this blueberry. And I added a little bit of, I love, just sometimes these are great. These little Omega, the liquid lemon stevia. Honestly, if you've never tried fresh stevia, I have fresh stevia in the backyard growing back, which, you know, I have a pot, right? The pot's bigger than my arm's circumference can make, okay? And the whole thing was filled with stevia. And then something happened with the ants, and it ate, and I had to totally take it out and start all over again. And fresh stevia with fresh mint leaves together is like breath freshener. It sweetens it naturally. It's nothing like the stevias you taste in the packets or the, you know, these fake stevias, or I say fake stevias, really they're chemical versions. I personally am just in love with the fresh leaf. It's the best ever. It doesn't give you that funky aftertaste either. I love Cray Cray too. Cray Cray is the bomb. He's hilarious. I also like these little extracts, like the orange. I have the star anise extract. Oh, it does go really well in pots. It's super easy and it proliferates very quickly. This is one of my favorites. The almond's the one I probably use the most. Because it goes great in smoothies. It goes great in, yeah, it's similar to the licorice. I like the almond extract because I also like it in my chocolates when I make my chocolates. Which I know I'm overdue to make chocolates, but I'm also going to have to do a whole CBD thing. That's good. It needs to be a little fizzier though. So, what I have going on over here in my sink, I'm going to clean up a little bit here. I'm just feeling good. I'm feeling really happy. It was chilly in the house this morning. I get very cold very easily when the temperatures drop and my immune system's compromised and my stomach stuff that's been going on. I woke up and my hands were cold, and you know, the past couple of nights I've been getting like extra sleep. Normally I get up on Saturdays. I've been trying to get my sadhana practice on. This morning it just wasn't happening. I think it was 61 when I checked the thermostat this morning, because you know, the temperature in the house is nice when we go to bed, so why turn the heat on? And so that's what's been going on there. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get this to stay, because sometimes my hair, it just feels so loose it's going to go flopping all over the place and can give me a little bit of a headache. So, we're going to start peeling some apples. Hey Selma, honey, how are you, darling? Cold can definitely give you stomach aches because it's a whole seizing up of the body, right? You know what else goes really well together? You can kind of snack together is take celery and apples, the crunches together, you get the salt and the sweet together. It's so nice. It's just a nice pairing. It's a nice combo. Anybody else like that? So I know I started telling the ingredients for this recipe, and I kind of stopped. because like I said, I'm going to change it up. But the ultimate is 3 cups of apples. 2 cups of those apples will be roughly chopped. 1 cup will be finely diced. Then you're going to have 3 cups of dates. This might be 3 cups. So, I like to wash my dates and take the pits out and all that other stuff. The other thing is if you have half a cup of fresh coconut meat, that's ideal. Otherwise, raw coconut butter. Always a great alternative. Okay? So if you don't have the half a cup of the young coconut meat, I recommend probably 2 tablespoons maybe of this. That's actually part of the cream. Then we're gonna play with some ginger, some cinnamon. I'm gonna dash in some the salt. Whenever I put salt in, is really just a flavor balance. It brings out the sweet, and then a dash of nutmeg I like to put in there as well, right? And yeah, that's pretty much what's on the list. Walnuts and lemon as well. 1 lemon's gonna be juiced, half is gonna be in the puree of the apples, or the cobblerish, because it's gonna be chunky. And the other half of the lemon will be in the cream. Okay? So, without further ado, and I am so not going to measure this, I'm just going to start tossing it in the food processor. Because that's how I roll. I'm going to put my purslane in the fridge, because I'm so excited. And I just can't hide it. I got my purslane, I'm happy. Hey Dean, how are you? Oh, that's right, I got to make space. Did I mention we got a lot of greens in here? Cray Cray even likes the greens, although he doesn't know how to chew them yet. He sticks them in his mouth and they just kind of hang there. He's like... So cheers to all of you who like apples and fresh tarts. Get yourself some kombucha. Maybe you want to put yourself in your kitchen with me. That's always fun. Or in my kitchen with me, you with me. Something like that. And without further ado, my favorite knife. Has anybody ever tried this stuff? This Alpha Brain on it? It's for memory and focus. It's my first time trying this version. And I know that the first time I tried Alpha Brain was in the pill format. I kind of like this. It's actually pretty cool. If you've tried it, let me know in the comments. If you ever tried Onnit's Memory and Focus. It's also says Alpha Brain Instant. You know, Gabriel, you can do it in berries too, because I also have some blueberries in the refrigerator that I said if anything, I may play with that as well. That's what's so much fun. Gonna have to find you, Carl. You're gonna have to tag me, probably. Alright, I don't know why, but for some reason I wanted to dig in the dates. That must mean I want to eat one. Hey, Jacqueline, how are you doing in Detroit? Is the weather nice up there? How many of you up north are going through all this cold weather stuff? I know when I was younger, I was speaking to my mom this morning. We were recounting the story of the Northeasterner, and it was at 78 or 79. I think it was 78, wasn't it? Cheryl, you would probably remember that one the most. I think we talked about it once before. That we had a house in Dorchester, and it was a 2-story. I forgot the style of the house, what it was called, but we had a second story, and you had to go from the top, the second story, to get out of the house. It was so high. And there's pictures of us little girls, all in me and my sister, in our snowsuits, up on top of the snow mounds. It was so high. And my mom was mentioning how it was 78, right? A lot of people don't realize how many people died as a result in their cars because they didn't know. It was crazy. Yogi Bhajan says, every date has a pit. And he was speaking metaphorically as well, by the way. -1. Ooh. It was even colder when I lived in Maine. But yeah, they said this storm right now is apparently even worse than that, from my understanding. Who loves dates? Look, I can can make it like a heart. Oh, I just saw the coolest plant, tree, flower today, and all of the leaves are like literally these big hearts. You can't miss them. And they're called a hora or Hora, Hora, I think he said it was called. And apparently the flower looks very similar to an orchid. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. That's exactly what I needed, was a date. So we're going to start peeling the apples. The birds are going crazy outside right now. Can you hear that? And then they stopped. It was going. I'll go out in the backyard and I'll actually whistle with the birds. It was so much fun. And they're so cute. I think they're in the tree out front. So we have walnuts. I'd like to soak them before I start, but I didn't do that today. It helps because it helps remove the enzyme inhibitors, especially because this type of nut has, you can actually peel these. I say actually a lot sometimes. You see all this? No, you don't. Apple time. Paring knife. So the beauty of this beautiful island that Tom got me is it came with 2 chairs. So if I get really, like, if I'm in here too long, I can actually sit down. I'm encouraged to sit down, I've been told. That I stand too much. So, what I like also to do, I love these. I love these. Do y'all use these for cutting on? Look, look. It looks like I'm under a heat lamp. My face is super, super red. Totally changes when you put it up or down, huh? So I like these because they're flexible and you can chop something up on them, and then all you do is you fold them and you make sure that it gets into where it needs to go. Who'da thunk? Making life easier. I like things that make my life easier, I'm just saying. Now I'm on this hunt. So years ago, I had my wisdom teeth pulled when I was in the Air Force because I had a chicken flauta out on a date with the guy that I was out on a first date. And the actual hardness of the flauta, the shell, got in the back of my molar, and it was tender because apparently my wisdom teeth were cutting in. So I had to go to what they call dental sick call in the Air Force. And at that time, they irrigated it. You know, they put the water in. They got the piece of because the next morning I woke up, I couldn't close my mouth. It was actually that swollen. And the next thing I'm being told is, we think you need to have your wisdom teeth pulled. All 4. I was a good little doobie when I was a little girl. So it carried over into adulthood, and if the doctor told me I needed to have something done, I typically followed suit. Doesn't mean I understood that it wasn't necessary. I didn't question a lot. I just went along because I thought I was supposed to. As a result, I ended up with the TMJ, and this side pops and gets really tight, and I grind a lot. So I have a mouth bite that I wear at night. The reason that came up is because I started to notice it's starting to feel a little tender right now. Walnuts are good for the... Uh-oh. Oh, baby. Oh, behave. I think I got lucky because I see a green leprechaun just strolled on in. Hubba, hubba, baby. Hi. Ooh, yeah. Shamrocks it all. I'm loving those green chimneys.
Peel those apples.
I'm distracted. Hubba, hubba. It's getting hot in here.
I said peel those apples.
I don't know. He's really good at that. Oh, I could use some luck with the lottery as well, Carl. I'll go on a lottery spree. We'll all meet up together. I'll fund that one. Ah, yeah, here we go. So, I'm peeling some lucky leprechaun. Luck of the Irish. I am part Irish as well. Has anybody been to Ireland? I actually have cousins that grew up in Killiney, where my aunt moved. So what I do is I just basically, I always do this. It doesn't even matter if they're organic or not, in my opinion, because they put so much stuff on everything. You don't know. You really don't know what they're putting on them. And the standards are just so inconsistent. If you get something that says it's organic from another country, you really don't know what you're getting. Ugh. Oh, the horror. The horror of it all. Ugh. It's too much to keep track of. I mean, honestly, when I started down the rabbit hole years ago, started learning about that, the lies of the food and this and that, I was like, oh my gosh, really? I got upset at first. You too rock. Yeah, they live in Killiney. I had to actually go through that whole process of getting upset to notice that I really cared enough to be upset. And then I had to find my way back home to neutral zone and recognize what it is I have control over, and that is my personal power, my ability to choose and do the best I can in the moment in my life and not allow the externals to distract me. Because I did that. I don't know about y'all, but it's really easy to get caught up in what's going on around you if you're constantly focusing on everything outside of yourself and not within. Ooh. I don't know which was hotter. The big tall troll or that lucky leprechaun that strolled on by.
Do you need help? We need to get moving.
Okay.
Keep it moving when we do the recipes. How many apples? I could do that, honey.
I should only need. I need 3 cups. So here's what I do, and this is what I've been doing. Is I put it in 4s.
And take the seeds out. I got it.
All I do is this, and then I can.
Boom. What other ingredients you got? And then I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
No,
I just know
okay.
that you got to keep moving when we do this because
I didn't know. Sorry. Thank you. I
I got
appreciate
it.
that.
we got. I'm gonna plant some radishes and some cucumbers today. But whatever story you're telling.
I lost my key. I don't remember.
Yeah.
So where was I? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is create the crust, okay? And I've got this rad, what's that called again? Food
Juicer?
processor.
Food processor?
I'm going to add the dates. 2 cups of dates. Sea salt. Cinnamon. There's so many ways you can do the, I'm doing 6, and they're not quite mini because I don't have a smaller mold, but I'm going to use this. And I'm going to make mini tarts. I like to, like I said, I like to clean all of my dates. Excuse me. I highly recommend if you're going to break down and pulse the walnuts, you always do that first. Because the minute they get wet, they'll be a little chunkier and you want them broken down a little bit more. So. I'll just put this in here. So. Hi, Dawn. Dawn, it's possible your comments were not in the video because you weren't in the video, but maybe outside the video, if that makes sense. So I hope you're having a rad day, all of you. Hope you're all staying warm wherever you are, whether around the world is going cray-cray. Are you lucky enough to have a sous chef prep over here like I do? So roughly chopped on, you can do rough chop on this? Okay.
Thank you for your help. It's nice having someone in here next to me. Isn't it fun when you can work together in the kitchen with somebody? Especially someone you love. Okay, so
I'm cleaning up 2 cups of dates right now because it really helps to rinse them off. We don't know when dates are transported if they've been cleaned, if they've been sprayed. I've had it where I found bird droppings on them. Just saying. It never hurts. And I like to split them open and pull the date out because I found that I've already found 3, what are they called? Flies inside of them. Has anybody found flies inside of their dates? That was the weirdest thing ever. Excuse me. Too many flavors and foods in my mouth right now. Between all the tastings that we did earlier. So does anybody have any exciting plans for this weekend? Do you have any exciting recipes? I love watching you guys together in the kitchen. Thank you, Dawn. It's been a while, hasn't it? Make sure you get your dates. No.
There are your apples.
Uh-oh. Can you take them? I got it. I got everything after you're done.
What? What?
Just the skins.
Skin's off.
Yeah, thank you. You're awesome.
Skin's good to go.
Is that good, buddy?
All right, so first things first, we're gonna make the crust. And I'm going to, I like to add a little bit of, I'm also going to use some coconut flakes in this. That's how I like to roll. So where are they? They're in here usually. If they're not in here, I've been rearranging the refrigerator, I swear. I know they're right here. Peekaboo, I see you. So, here we go. Coconut flakes. Opening up the food processor first. What's your favorite fruit, vegetable? It's all good. We're good. We're good. Just want to make sure if you have any questions about these recipes, let me know. Let me know. You know, I want to make sure that you enjoy this just as much as I enjoy making it. So it's about half a cup. I'm actually going to use a whole cup because walnuts are good for you. Good brain food. do. I have to put this on real quick. I'm gonna put a pinch of salt in here. Salt is for the flavor balancing. So, again, like I said, it's only a cup. Excuse me. And then we're gonna lock and load. Oops. Okay, locked and loaded. I'm gonna add a little bit of cinnamon and nutmeg. Oh, sorry about that noise. Got my spoon. And so even still it needs to be pulsed more from what I'm seeing in here. The other thing I like to add is also some vanilla. So I'm going to throw some vanilla in here as well. A couple sprinkles of nutmeg. Vanilla, look, I have labeled spices. Alright. And then I'm going to put a little bit of coconut flakes going in here. Not everybody likes coconut, so if you don't like coconut, you can omit that. It's just a optional ingredient. And then we're gonna pulse this baby so the crust will be all nice. That looks awesome sauce. And then we're going to add the dates. Awesome. I'd lift it and show you, but the problem is the cord's not long enough. Whoopsie. Date time, baby. Lots of dates. So technically, we got this is about a cup and a half probably right now.
Were those apples good enough?
Oh, I'm good, yeah. I appreciate your help a lot.
Ooh, I'll keep it moving.
Don't you look all cute and sexy in your little green chonies? Can I get value? So I can get more dates and wash my hands.
That's cool. Is that notes?
Mm-hmm. Where I keep all my notes.
We haven't put that many recipes in the group lately, but we'll start doing that. We used to take photos of everything we ate and just share it all the time. But we've been trying to mix up all of our stuff. But maybe we'll take a photo of this, you think, today? And then share the recipe?
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea. Ooh, sticky toffee pudding. Uh-oh, what are you up to over there? When he starts hitting the buttons, watch out. Maybe a sexy kitten will come out. Whoops.
Get in here.
OMG. Like, really? Woo, baby.
I like it. What's up? What's up?
We used to play more with all that, didn't we?
Oh, little what Chippendale action. Oh, we get a double. What?
I know you think I'm like that sexy school teacher you had. Bueller.
These are pretty cool. Let's see if we can. Oh, it doesn't come with music though.
Okay, I'm pulsing.
That's what my daughter Jordan does. Junk food review should be like junk food review. Wait, junk food review or junk food review.
Ow. Careful, this thing will bite you. Yikes. It's all on one side, peeps. It's all on one side. Okay, we need to mush this down so it properly mixes together. Let's see how it tastes. I bet it tastes really good. I'm telling you, these are a hit for anybody. You don't have to be. Should be enough. And hopefully. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That was probably more than enough, actually. Because it appears this is what it looks like. It would have been chunkier. It's okay if it isn't. See these? I got a whole nother one of this if I need it. So, very simple. I'd say this is about a tablespoon per mold. I'm just going to stick them in the freezer anyway until the apple tart portion is ready to put inside of it. And here's the thing. You can make it like so that you can have like a little boat in the inside and bring it up the sides. Or you can just make it half and half, you know. I like to make it so that it's like a boat in here. Was that like my Boston accent coming out a little bit? About? Or more Canadian because we moved up to the Canadian, quote, border when we were younger. So, it becomes very sticky and fingery. Ah! Some of this is chunkier than others. Let's see here. Oh, sticky mess. I'll show you as soon as I've filled all of them in.
Okay, we're gonna do a Q&A, okay?
Okay, you're gonna ask and I'm gonna tell.
Yeah. Make them, we'll do, and I have no idea what I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
We'll do 3 Q&A questions, and you have a minute, so don't go long-winded, just answer the question.
Okay.
Okay. Why should people subscribe to your YouTube channel and join your 40-day Kundalini challenge?
Because it gives you an opportunity to try different
Don't
forms.
talk fast.
Oh, I thought you said I had a minute. So I was
Will
gonna-
gracefully deliver it.
Because ultimately you get 40 days of a very unique practice where most Kundalini yoga will do a 40-day challenge and it'll be the same practice each time. This gives you 40 various different forms of meditation, breath work, asana, kriyas, which are also known as a recipe, It gives you an opportunity to see that it's not just one thing, and you get variety.
Joe,
And
hear that?
it's your personal experience, so you get to see through your personal experience how it works for you. And you can tell me, how does it change your life or not?
Okay, here's question 2. Why should people iron their sheets or not have their sheets wrinkled?
Because everybody wants to feel like they're embraced by the silkiness,
But-
and not the crispiness of like the crunchiness of life that feels like it leaves marks.
So wrinkles in your bed sheets do what?
Cause wrinkles on your body. I've woken up with marks on my face and on my body. Anybody else out there gone through that? I want to know if I'm the only one who just has had that experience. It's one of my little things. I like fresh sheets that are crisp and clean.
Okay. Do you or do you not brush your teeth in the shower? Why and why not?
Yes, I do. When I take a shower, I brush my teeth in the shower.
Where do you keep your toothbrush?
If I remember to take it out, I'll put it back in the cabinet. But when I leave it there, I have this really cool, really rad shelf in the end of my shower, and that's where it'll go. And if I forget, I know that's where it still is.
Tell them what you have to do every time you brush your teeth.
I have to take my toothbrush and shake out the ants.
Tell them why.
Because I use an activated charcoal toothpaste that I made from scratch with coconut oil, and they are attracted to it. And I think it could also be because it has other stuff in it, like the cinnamon and the coconut oil. These sugar ants, I'm telling you, they go for all sorts of stuff. And I think there's even peppermint oil and some other things in it.
That was fun. Thank you for playing.
Thank you for asking. Oh! Be careful, you're going to bust another toe. And Nurse Lon will have to come to your rescue. Actually, I think he likes that. Just saying. So I'm not the only one who likes fresh, clean sheets, huh? Ladies, have you ever had that happen where you end up with wrinkles on your face? It's more common, I think, as we get older, because I don't remember it ever being like that when I was younger. I mean, I'm not that old. I'm just saying, as we get a little older, because to me, I'll always be young. This year, I'll be 44. This is the year. Every 11 years is your cycle of intelligence. Every 7 years is your cycle of consciousness, and you'll find that you'll raise in vibration, or maybe you'll lower, depends on where you're at in your stages of life. And every 18 years is your cycle of vitality. So we think we can bounce back quicker, but every 18 years that dwindles more unless you're maintaining yourself. So as Yogi Bhajan says, keep up and you will be kept up. So it's very important that we're taking care of our mind, body, and soul on all levels. We can't just do one and not affect the whole, right? The all three. So, I'm going to have to do another one. Check it out. These are just the crust. I'm going to stick these in the freezer so it'll harden. You want to do that for me?
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Well, we have more left.
Mm-hmm.
There's not that much of a smell to it. That's weird. Maybe because it's in these. Are these BPA free?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know?
Because I bought them.
They don't smell that. They don't. There's not that much smell.
Didn't you say your smell's a little off?
Oh, you can't in here though. That's weird.
Desserts with apples. Amanda, these are really yummy. They're going to be even yummier when I'm done. Now, it's really beautiful because what's in here, I think I can get I can get 2 more. I have another BPA free. I love these things because they're flexible. And if you have trouble getting things out of those other ones, right? Medication time, Carl. Is that the what do you call it? The Ben & Jerry's cookie dough ice cream used to be one of my favorites, by the way. Satin pillowcases also, Cheryl. I have a girlfriend who swears by those, as well as silk, I've heard too. And then funny enough, of course, you'd think I would own something like that, and I don't. Apparently, they're supposed to be really good for the hair as well. And because my hair is so particular, I do need to get something for my hair. I own a lot of scarves, especially silk scarves. One of my obsessions, Hermes scarves, just saying. Because I love art and I love the prints, and to me that's like collecting art that's usable. I've always loved art as it is. And I have a lot of stuff that I don't have here. Art pieces, very unique pieces at that. When I went to the country of Jordan, I picked up some really beautiful artwork years ago. It reminds me, when I start talking about this stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, I have some of that. Or like my sunflower leather art that I got in Krakow, Poland, which is one of my favorites. I wish I had that, actually. Been thinking about that. It's funny how certain things will stick in your mind, other stuff you forget about. It's literally this bright yellow sunflower made with leather, and it's formed, and it's gorgeous. Oh, I'm actually going to get 3 or 4 out of these, maybe. These are going to be so cute. Our favorite part is really plating it too. I know Ella did a video the other night, and I truly appreciated that because I have like this whole passion about food and art anyway, which is why I initially went and did a culinary course so that I could play with that. And that was so much fun. Because we eat with our eyes, right? So if it looks pretty, we think it's going to taste pretty and yummy. It's not always the case, though, is it? Sometimes we think something's going to look good and it's going to be good. But what has life taught us? That it's not always in balance like that. So walnuts and apples, what an amazing combination. Do you ever wonder, like, the history of who decided apples and walnuts would be so good together? Or pecans. Oh, I love pecans. Don't you love pecans? Remember those pecan logs? My dad used to go crazy for those. When we'd be driving south, when we used to come down in the summer or to visit my grandmother when she moved down here in the early 80s to Florida, we'd be driving in the car because we did a lot of road trips growing up. And he would have to stop at, like, you know, south of the border in those places, they always had the pecan logs. You see those signs for pecans all the way down the interstate. His other thing was the fruitcakes, right? Who out there likes a good fruitcake? Who out there is a good fruitcake? Oh yeah, this came out to 4 more. So I got 6 and 4's 10 yield out of this particular recipe, which is awesome sauce. It's going to give us nice little sweet treats for when we get cravings in the middle of the night without the refrigerator light. Hope y'all like that meme. But haven't you ever questioned why you need a refrigerator light? Somebody felt like it was a necessity. I just think it's funny. I took mine out because it burnt out, and I just decided not to replace it because of how hot that top shelf got, and all the stuff around it seemed to be warm and not cold. It's kind of a funky refrigerator anyway. My ideal dream kitchen has Sub-Zero, open, like, clear glass refrigerator doors. And then also an island, a kitchen island with the drawer refrigerators, one with the freezer on it, and the other one just for whatever quick grabs for whatever you're preparing at the island. I personally think that would be the ideal bomb diggity.
are you liking today's video today so far? Is anybody out there? Now we're gonna move on to the filling.
I'm gonna go outside and finish this. I want to show them. Y'all check these seeds out. So we've got half the garden done. We went to the market today, and we were gonna get other plants, but we already had the plants that they were selling. So I already have tomatoes. We've got peppers. We've got kale, and so I'm gonna do one row of these radishes, and then I'm gonna do one row of these cucumbers, and then that will finish our first garden that is named Sunburst, and we made it out of pine wood. So I'm gonna go do that now.
Yay! You look so cute.
I'll be back.
That. My lucky shamrock.
Like that shit. Love. Okay. Have fun. But you wanna come outside?
Time for the filling. So,
Come on.
my sister is so cute. I know, a big kitchen with a big island. So my sister's so cute. She like, where's that tall drink of a man? Mr. Collins. She's so funny. So now I need to cut up a lemon. I'm going to use a small lemon anyway. And what I do is I seed the lemon. I try to be as efficient as possible. I don't mind the pulp, so what I'll do is I'll throw the pulp in there. I'm not even going to clean that because it's going to end up being all the mush. Not the mush, it's going to be the filling, the chunky, appley goodness. What did I put to this? So what we're going to do is put in 2 cups of roughly chopped. Some of these do have a little bit more peel stuff on them. And that's okay. It's all perfect, right? 2 cups. Hi Terry, how are you? Is anybody first time tuning in that's never watched us before, checked into our Ridiculously Authentic page or group? So when I was younger, I used to love to make applesauce. We would bake the apples, we'd core the apples and keep the skins because we'd pick them off of our tree. We had a tree out back of our home in Maine. We'd bake them on a pan, and then just a couple that I have to clean up. We'd bake them in a pan and with some cinnamon, and we'd add it afterward. Oh my gosh, just eating them just as they were baked was delicious. Didn't even really need to add anything to it because it was just so perfect. Okay, so 2 cups. I think we're good here. Hi, Shelby. So Buddy's on a banana diet, and I've been also sharing with him some some apples, and he loves strawberries. Oh my gosh, this dog hangs out by the kitchen just like my dog Angel did. So 3 years ago today, my Angel went to the pearly gates, doggy heaven, because she was the bestest ever. And I'll tell you what, Buddy reminds me of her every day because he does things that I swear he's channeling Angel. Like, she shows up with this dog and says, hey, she's telling him secrets. Like,
hey, if you hang out by her, she'll feed you even if you don't think she will. She will. And so he's picking up on what she's laying down, and I'm like, oh boy, because Angel would literally be under my feet in the kitchen, and I'd walk over her. It didn't really bother me. I loved having her nearby me. She was my serious little companion for many years. She traveled with me all over the world when I was in the Air Force. I mean, she was with me for 17 years almost. 16 and a half, 17 years. That's a long doggy life. And let me tell you, she had a good doggy life. That's so funny. So, yeah. I adopted her in D.C. at the Humane Society. Yeah, she was part husky, part lab. She had a partially blue eye and a partially brown eye. And she was really the most lovable. But she was very much like her owner. Me. Hello. You know, they say that animals resemble their owners. Well, she was an alpha female, and she liked her freedom and liked to be able to do what she wanted. Very much like I am. Nothing's going to hold me back. When we lived in Italy, I would go to let her out to go potty, and she'd stop. And I didn't like to put her on a leash. I didn't feel like it was necessary. And she'd dart off. She'd totally take off on me. And she was definitely a dog around town, but she was very much a sweetie poof. What you got for us? You're so sweet.
Did you know that what's in this is basically the seeds that are in a cucumber?
I do now.
Look. Unless they're like some like special seed that you can't get out of the cucumbers that we already eat, those are basically cucumber seeds that you get out of a cucumber. I think that's funny. So you really don't need to buy the seeds, right? I'm so new at this. I'm like, our plants are doing really, really well. Like really, really well. They're like glowing right now. But
it's because we got love in the house.
But it's interesting that, look, these are cucumbers. You can just go buy a cucumber unless these are like supreme, like Ninja Yoda special seeds. But you just buy a cucumber, like just go buy an organic cucumber.
And take the seeds.
And then take the seeds. Look.
Well, we're always learning every day, aren't we? That's a good.
So then the radishes too. I wonder. I've never seen radish seeds.
I've never seen those for certain. Now you got me curious.
I'll be back.
See, and I'm the type of person that when I get seeds in some, I just throw them out in the yard and I have no idea where they land and if they're going to grow. So I'm enjoying this process with Tom because I said to him, I said, listen, I'm not a farmer. I'm just going to tell you, I just know I throw the seeds and they either grow or they don't. Isn't that the beauty of life? Is you just let nature do its thing. And you get to appreciate the fruits of your labor or no labor because ultimately it's nature's labor. So I'm dicing this other one. This is going to be for the topping as well because you need a cup of diced, finely diced actually is what it said. So, these are the things. Sometimes I actually follow my recipes. It looks prettier when it's all nice and neat and finely chopped and diced and spliced and here he comes. We get to find out what's the verdict.
Okay, look. These are radish seeds.
I'm gonna be impressed. They're little balls.
Yeah.
I have seen something, but I don't know. Maybe from the tops because you wouldn't see the tops unless you get radishes with the tops and the flowers because that comes from where the flowering comes from. That's where I would expect it to be.
They look like little rocks.
They're cute, itty bitty cuties.
This is what radish seeds look like, y'all. Isn't that fun? I'm gonna take a photo because I dug like a trench, half-inch trench, like elongated, and I just sprinkled the cucumbers seeds there. I'm gonna do the same thing with this. I'm gonna take a photo and then I'm gonna upload it in the group and see what people say.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to just dig a hole for one little seed.
Right.
Or maybe it takes two seeds. I don't know. So we'll find out. That's why this is our tester.
We were talking about that earlier. Does it take more than one seed to grow? Well, I said, well, I don't think so, but don't quote me because I'm not a farmer and I don't know. But it's very possible in my mind, I would think, that one seed should suffice unless one of the seeds isn't potent enough to make it, and then it needs, another seed would be needed just to make up for the one that dies. But we just never know until we know, right? Hey y'all, if you haven't shared this, please share it in groups that, like food groups or gardening groups. We really love it when you support us that way. And never know if we're going to be able to learn from someone else or share with somebody else. Apples a day keeps the doctors away. There's an interesting flavor on these. Hi Paula, how are you, honey? What do you have planned for this rad Saturday, this weekend? Oh, I'm just dicing apples. These are gonna go on the top. Trying to make them all pretty and nice, and I think that's sufficient. And put the rest of these chunkies. Oops. I know Buddy will eat whatever hits the floor. So will I, as long as there's no fur on it. Tell me what you're up to on this Saturday. Are you laughing your cares away? So now, what I've written down here, we've got the filling. We've got the base is in the freezer to set. Now the filling, we're going to, the roughly diced, plus a cup of dates again. See this? I gotta clean some more dates. No lickies. Buddy's on lockdown. He's still been licking. He has a couple rough spots. We've been trying to get him to stop. And it's unfortunate because if we ever go anywhere, we have to try to see if, we have to trust him to not do it. He's never guaranteed he won't. I love me some dates. Rinsing, cleaning up that dirty date. Hi Elsie, how are you? How are you doing on this rockin' Saturday? Okay. Gotta take the pits out of all those dates, right? It just makes it easier to spit it out, right? I love dates so much I don't want to miss any of the juiciness on the pits. The other thing about the benefit of opening up the dates before you just throw them in, as you see, make sure they're not moldy, because I've had moldy dates as well. They're not fun.
Look at you.
That is for the topping.
I have a really good idea for a video, and this would be cool. I'll share my idea with everybody right now live, and then when if we pull it off, because first of all, are we still live? Look, y'all, these videos that we do one take. One take, that's it. That's right, it's ridiculously authentic, because you just do one take. But check this out. So, you know how I bought those little pee-pee things, or what are those called? Those, Easter bunny rabbit candies?
Peeps.
Those peeps.
They had it in Aldi's.
Yeah, so we'll put, we'll bring Tiggy out. And I'll be meditating. And you film it. And we're going to put a real big giant, one of those trash cans behind me, and I'm gonna be meditating, and you're gonna come up to me with the camera, and then you're gonna hand me those peeps, like a package of them, and then I'm gonna come out of my meditation like that, and then I'm gonna grab them, I'm gonna look at them, and then just throw over my shoulder, and hopefully it goes in the trash, and then just continue on with my meditation. Wouldn't that be rad?
I
Would that
totally
be fun?
see him doing
Would that be
this.
fun?
It'd be fun.
So maybe we'll do that after this. That'll be fun.
Dates, anyone? Get yourself a date. Make sure it's not the pits. So now, let me see if I put any. Oh, I gotta put ginger in this too. And lemon. Did he mention he has skills? He's pretty ninja. Just saying. So the lemon, we get the ginger, and cinnamon again. Hey Trina, hey Lisa, hey Dawn. Hi Matilda. It's my snack food as I go, as I roll. Fresh ginger is the best way to do this, y'all. Uh-oh. So, one. Ginger just depends on how much you like it. For me, I like it a lot. Let me see something here. So, I actually like to chew on this because it's really good for women. Fresh ginger on your menstrual cycle, if you have any type of physical pain, chew on those. Hey Melissa. It's really good for inflammation of any kind. I'm gonna put some more.
Boom!
Love
Have you
it.
ever done that type like that?
Long time ago. I haven't done it in a long time. Before you came along, baby, and you moved into town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take a photo of those bugs too.
Oh
if,
my gosh.
If you do organic and you don't use any pesticides or anything, do you just spray the bugs so you don't kill them? But like I can already tell, I don't know if these bugs that I found, but there's something eating one of the leaves. So what do you do? Do you kill the bugs?
Anybody have any suggestions?
Did you just like would a vegan kill the bug? Or do you just say shoot fly shoot? I don't know. But there's a lot of them out there.
I
They
can't
were
wait
out
to
there
see this
before.
because you were going to show them to me and I
Yeah.
forgot until you mentioned
I'll
it.
take a photo of them. I'll put it in the group. They're like these little, I don't know. They look like black widow grasshoppers, and they're small.
Oh, I know exactly what they are.
You do?
Yeah, and it's the one I was telling you about. They're like the big ones. They're babies. They're propagating. So what he's talking about, and they're prevalent this time of year. They're basically hatching, but they become this big. They eat everything green. Aaron Wheeler loves your shirt, Tom.
Thank you.
They're like a black, but they're gonna have red and yellow, and they'll eat anything and everything green. Dad just must not have realized that's what that was. But yeah, you want to kill them. I hate to say that.
Because my understanding is it will kill everything green and it will totally attack our garden. We don't want that. I don't know specifically what.
You can plant a flower. Yeah, that's what. Trish, thank you. You can plant a flower to take the bug away. I think they told us, is it marigolds? Because what happens is it's called companion planting. And in fact, the irony is that just the other day when I was in teacher training last weekend, supporting that, my girlfriend Vanita's sister was she was visiting from Bangladesh area of India, and her husband had traveled. They used to be research scientists, and they were very well aware of when the whole GMO stuff started, because they were part of that. Not part of it starting it, but they became aware of it because of their own fundings and their own work. And she told me in the beginning they started out with essential oils and things to try to keep bugs away, but then in the end she traveled with National Geographic to learn companion planting and how you can make a sustainable an ecological system within the ecosystem. Basically, they have a place. It's a tropical organic rainforest outside of Bangladesh, in India, and everything. It was when I learned for the first time that they have to hand pollinate the vanilla beans. And the cardamom, there's a certain bug that eats it, so they planted something next to it that was more appealing to that bug. So I'm putting the lemon in here. I'm using 1 small lemon for this. 1 cup of dates. 2 cups of roughly chopped apples. And the 1 cup of the diced apples will get folded in afterward. So that's the process. We're going to pulse this up and make it all mushy. Basically like an applesauce, almost. A thick applesauce. We're going to throw in some cinnamon. I already threw ginger in here. I put a bunch of chunks in there because I like a lot of ginger. I like it spicy on all levels. Ooh, let me see what you wrote there. Yeah, I know. The whole idea of companion plant. See, this is the thing. I've always had these visions of bringing together and creating these huge communities of where everything works in harmony together and people come together sharing their gifts, talents, because we all have them. Maybe, one person's gift is harnessing nature to dye clothes, creating clothing from nature, from hemp, from anything. Actually, you can use anything that grows can be turned into a fiber, right? Cellulose. SCOBY, for example, I think is fascinating, being that y'all know I brew kombucha. Well, years ago, the first time I saw that fashion designers were using the mother SCOBY to create clothing, I thought that was amazing. I knew you could use it and make jerkies or fruit leathers, which is what I've done already. And yesterday when my dad was over here, he got to try the coffee chocolate banana kombucha SCOBY jerky or fruit leather that I had created, and he loved it. He really enjoyed that. So, and it's a compliment coming from my dad when he says, "You should market this stuff. This is really good." I said, "Yeah, it is really good." But we were talking about how would you store the SCOBY and all that, and how would you do the big vats with kombucha? Because a lot of the mass-produced kombucha, they have to put it in bigger containers because of supply and demand, right? So I don't know. I know that over the course of years when I was researching brewing kombucha to begin with, what a lot of people do is they'll use the big plastic bins. They're like a blue plastic. It's supposed to be BPA free and all that. But like I told my dad, if it were me, what I would really ideally like to do is to utilize the old wooden barrels they use for wine, because I just think that would be awesome. It's more natural, the wood. coolest stuff out there. Hi, Stasia. Is that pronounced right? Stasia or Stacia? How do you pronounce your name? I like to pronounce everyone's name properly. My name is Lana, Lana. Sometimes I get pronounced Lana, but there's only one N. And so, or I've heard Lena. I've heard all sorts of stuff. And it used to really bother me, but I don't let it bother me as much. And I really like my spiritual name too, which is Sundari Kiran Kaur. And it means the lioness princess who radiates the beauty of God like a beam of light in your face. You can't miss it. You can't miss that being, that beauty. But to me, beauty is also love, right? So when we see something we consider beautiful, hi Tanya. Is it Tanya or Tanja? Or Tanya? Let me know which way to pronounce it. And I love that spiritual name. It took me a long time to accept and allow a new name because I love my name. Lana Ann Labonte. My first name was given, my mom said, was named after the actress Lana Wood, not Lana Turner. So lemon juice, even though it's sticky and tart, the bugs still like it. So in my past, I've noticed that my dad wondered why there were all these bugs one year. He kept on throwing the lemons that he was juicing in the garbage pan, and I'm like, Dad, I already had that problem, so I already know what it is. The bugs were propagating because citrus flies, people. Citrus flies. That's all I need to say. I'm going to put some of the nutmeg. This is cinnamon, not nutmeg. I've got a spoon in the sink. Oh, Cheryl, to get a spiritual name, all you have to do is go to 3ho.org and you can just submit for it. And you can also get your numerology that way. It's quite fascinating. I love it. The idea that, numbers, again, I'm always fascinated by numbers. They say a lot, don't they? I'm also going to add to this and put some vanilla because, vanilla makes everything just perfect. Getting my blueberry booch on with some love, truth. Satnam is, truth is my identity. Mm-hmm. All right, so the cinnamon goes back. The nutmeg goes back. And, whoa. Vanilla. We're going to use the stevia version. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just because I like it. So this is what I love. This stuff is amazing. And it's not like a lot of other stevias that I've tried out there, which the flavor was left a strange aftertaste in my mouth. Alright, let's make this lock and load. Uh-oh. Oh, I see what happened. This thing twisted. Oh, hello. So first this has to turn, and that can turn, and now here we go. Well, this is the part where we push down the sides. It's supposed to make it nice and, well, you can make it mushy. It really is a preference thing. And, oh my gosh, it smells so divine. Cleanup's the part that I don't even want to think about. But the taste of all this, oh baby. I'm going to make it more less chunky. That's why we have this diced. To do it until it really wants to be combined well. So you can make this as chunky or as saucy as you like it. like it kind of saucy. Almost like an applesauce. In fact, if I really, sometimes I'll throw it in the blender and make an applesauce, and then I'll mix in the diced apples. But just to give you an idea of how this has already turned out, technically you don't even need to dice. Look at that, isn't that nice? Poet and didn't know it. OMG. Yummy goodness, please. I'm just gonna throw the rest of the apples in here. Wow. That is so bomb diggity. Like, seriously. Okay. So, the cutting board. That's why I like the Flexi one. It doesn't go all over the place. No, in. Alright, Flexi one from now on. Smells so good. Yum, yum, yum. That is like perfect. So now what we do in the freezer, the kind of apples that I have, I've got a mix, and it's your preference. I've got Fuji's, Pink Ladies, the Golden Delicious, and the greens, but I think these are just the Pink Ladies and the Fuji's. And that's what I use. So now, I always like to do this, stick these in the fridge to set them, and then I'm going to put the apple on top, and then I'm going to make the coconut cream. See, there's 3 processes in here, right? Pink Ladies are so good, aren't they, Jen? I'm stepping on something. From the date. Okay. Look at how gorgeous this is. And the coconut cream topping is actually optional. You don't need to make it. But we're going to. These are just so pretty. I can't wait to see how they turn out when we put them in the pictures. Yeah, that's our favorite part. Plating it. Showing you the massive love that was poured into each and every mini tart. Does anybody else out there like your apple tarts? Is there such a thing as an allergy to apples? These are so good. I could just eat the mixture alone, on its own. You could make a whole big old apple cobbler cake just taking this recipe and putting in a big, what are they called? One of those pie with the tension sides if you wanted, and you could freeze it, or just take it out when you're ready to serve it, like an hour or so, let it sit out. Being in Florida, a lot of times it's just easier if you set things in the freezer, especially if you're going somewhere, because it seems to everything warms up really quick once you take it out. With the exception of winter. I mean, when we're truly in the cold, and we do get that here, as we found for the past couple of days. Look at that. Aren't those pretty? Hey Laura, honey, how are you? Hi Sherry. These are going back in the freezer. I'm going to do the next 4. And then we're going to make the cream for the top. And voila, we shall have some apple tots. Alrighty. This is like the perfect amount too, by the way. These are great for snacks. It's completely natural. As you've noticed, the only sweetener we have is dates. So if you have any type of, it depends on you, because, you know, you got to know that artificial, even things that become a form of sugar that are bad for like diabetes. I mean, there's been a huge fear basing with fruits and vegetables being high in, and mostly fruits, not so much the vegetables, high in sugar, when it's actually the sugar your body craves and needs. Whereas when you have like breads and grains, it gets converted into an unhealthy sugar, which just makes it worse for those different conditions that I've found and learned. We need to be eating real food, peeps. Getting back to nature, so nature can take care of us, and we can take care of it. Yummy in my tummy. Even if you just do, you know, you're trying to transition, or you just want to add more fruits and vegetables, you can't go wrong. Nobody said you had to be some label. Just be you. Amazing. Yummy. Hey Steve, how are you? Alright, so let's make that creamy topping. Oops, did that not shut? Uh-oh. Ah, the refrigerator is always interesting. Alrighty. I think my favorite part is licking the bowl. Because remember, I like to lick my spoons, my forks, my knives. Okay, so now for the creaminess. You have to blend this part. So, because we don't have the coconut meat, which would naturally be more, the coconut meat itself would be softer and easier to blend, whereas if you're using the raw cacao butter, not cacao, I'm sorry, coconut butter, my bad, that's completely different. It comes from the coca, the cacao. Listen to me, I can't even speak today on those ones. Cacao is chocolate, right? The actual cacao butter is inside of the big pod where all the coffee bean, the cacao. See, a lot of coming out of my mouth here. The cacao plant is this big cool pod, right? Okay, it's probably not that big. And it's got all the cacao beans in it. And inside the center is the cacao butter, that white stuff. So that when a true chocolate is made, they use that white stuff, the cacao butter, to harden it using the beans. I know, cacao, cray, out the mouth, right? But the coconut butter is the cream of the coconut. So now that we've gotten that straight, what we're going to do is use the blender. And I have to watch this kimchi. It's already gone cray over here. It's already trying to come out of the jar. And y'all saw when I first showed you this. Wow, that's impressive. It's already trying to come out of the jar. I'm going to have to clean that and take some more of that out. Alright, so now that I've established that part, we're going to do another lemon, one more lemon, and we're going to stick to put this on here. The fruit flies are going cray-cray over here too because they know they've got lemons to play with. Okay, so I haven't done a creamy sauce like this in a while. I usually have a special someone who brings me by coconuts, and she forgot the coconuts the last time, and I thought that was funny because it was actually nice just to see her, but her whole purpose for stopping by initially was to bring me the coconuts, and then she goes, I didn't bring the coconuts. So it's all good, just another excuse to see you again. And then she later told me, she meant she left them like all the way down in Palm Island, which is kind of funny. Because Palm Island's like it's like 2.5, 3 hours away. But it's a really nice location. Very private, perfect for beaching. Hi, Matan, how are you? So I'm squeezing the lemon juice in here because ultimately that's what's going to kind of soften up this coconut and it's going to give it a little tang. It's been a while since I've used coconut butter out of the jar. That's how spoiled I've become. Alright, so I'll just do this. I have to de-seed these lemons because there's a lot of seeds in these lemons. And then I squeeze all the lemons. This all out. See, I got splinters in my thumb. Right here, and every time I touch the lemon, the oil, you see that hole? It got in there deep, like deep down under the skin. Have you ever had that happen when you're like, oh, that hurts? Every time it's like having stinging, so the lemon's going into the cut, it kind of hurts. So my thumb action's been slowing me down a little bit, so I saw a splinter, sorry. Good. I love me some lemon. Hey Rachel, how are you, hon? And see, this is the perfect opportunity. Oh, how cool. So Carl, you can do a numerology? I'll give you my numbers. I was born on the 8th month, August 1st, 1974. So European would say 1/8/1974, but US would be 8/1/74. I know my gift is 11. Hi, Angel. So this is the part where I gotta get all these seeds. So, because I've done this before where I accidentally got seeds and things, not fun. Again, kind of like the dates, the pits. I love using the blender because the blender will beat this all up. And this is the last part, so again, this part is optional. You've already seen me make the tart, and I'll show everything at the end here shortly. I'm almost there. And then you can all go about your rockin' sexy, sweet Saturday. I can't wait to see what Carl comes up with, numbers-wise. Numbers are awesome to me. I find them fascinating. I'm always seeing duplicates 1 1, 1 2 3, 3 2 1, 2 2 2, 3 3 3. A lot of repetitive numbers in my life.
house numbers. Before I even bought my home, I had to laugh because my dad and I have a P.O. box. And the numbers on the P.O. box aren't the exact same numbers as my house number, but they're almost the same numbers. So I thought that was fun. My house in Maryland, the numbers added up to 1, and the numbers on this house add up to 1 as well. So it's little things like that that I think are really cool. Very interesting. Very, very interesting.
All right. Next part. Hey Ella, how are you? Not gonna spoon the knives, I'm telling you. All right. Lemon's like a hot commodity, y'all. It's good for alkalizing the blood and the metabolism, build immune system, vitamin C, lick away. Okay. And now, the creme de la resistance. No pun intended, we're doing the cream. Alright, I know that I just dropped step on a seed. It's getting seedy in here. Hey, wait a minute. I see a cucumber seed on the floor. I'll hold that off to the side. We don't want to lose that. Hi, Celia. Alright. So now, because we're putting this on top of those tarts, I guess I could have heated this up. See that? There's a lot of coconut oil that separates on the top. But you see the difference? One's a creamy, like, off-white, and the other one's a bright white. So this, we want more of that off-white color. So that's going to require me to dig down deep in here. And we're going to do quite a bit of this, actually, because I want to make up a nice whip. I think it's gonna rain, y'all. Sure as heck looks like it outside. Ugh. Hi, Gregor. How are you today? Oh. You gotta use all your brawn and strength to get into this thing. I used to love eating the stuff out of the container because it was so good, but I don't do it as much because I don't really need it and I just don't crave it. Plus, I prefer it fresh. It's still good. Hi, Francis. How are you? Alright, so we need more of the cream. Not so much the oil on top. And you can also use the canned stuff as well. Oh, how awesome. I'm glad you caught me live as well. You just never know. Sometimes you may not know when I'm going to pop up in here, right? We need to do more kitchen videos, right? Ugh. I'm trying to get on in
You need
this
some
one.
muscle.
I think I'm just about done. But you know I like it when a big, strong man comes in the
Ooh,
house.
smells good.
Yeah. Lemon.
That's citrus, yeah. It smells like Skittles.
Stick your nose in the food processor and get a real good whiff of that apple. I don't know if I'd use this Trisha's body butter, but why not? Why not try it? If you do, let me know.
Oh, that smells so good.
I love it when I see that face.
That smells so good. Are these gonna be little bars?
That was what with the topping.
Oh, that's gonna be topping to the
What
apple.
I found on the floor.
Little cucumber seed. Let's put it in here. Maybe it'll grow in our little tart. Can I want to try some of this. Did you show this to them?
Here.
So this is just regular whipped coconut meat. This stuff's expensive. Oh no, yeah, it's raw organic. It's organic raw coconut.
I know when I bought it, it was somewhere around $9.99 or $7.99 or something like that. I got it. I always, when I buy stuff like that, it's usually on sale. That I admit. So now I'm gonna try whipping this, but I almost think I don't have enough in there. Oh, please watch your toe.
Oh, it's the second time.
Are you okay?
Y'all ever split your toe? That's the second time on my digit.
Can you scoop me out more? Not from that side, from the other side, because I don't.
This side?
Yeah, because I need the yellow, not the white.
Why?
Because the white is more like getting coconut oil.
You were not kidding.
Look at my hands.
Wow.
I'm strong, but I kind of like it when I have a nice strong man.
Wow. How much of this do you need?
I gotta cover the braid.
I swear my toe's bleeding. You gotta cover the blade?
Yeah.
What if we had a ninja knife?
You might break the knife. No, I'm teasing. I don't need that much more. It's just enough to.
To be honest, this doesn't taste all good by itself. You used to like to eat this?
I used to like to eat that. Yep. Just checking. Are you still tuned?
Hey y'all, did y'all see my banana splits? Isn't he the bomb diggity? Dom got me him for Valentine's Day. He's so cute. Oh wait, this is even cuter. Look at that little booty. The hair, the booty. Woohoo. Number 3s are natural entertainers who love to express their many talents and abilities. Is that me, Carl? Is that what you're saying? That I'm a 3?
Is that good enough?
Yeah, I think so. I'll try it.
Y'all, look how jacked up my feet are.
You do that. I'm gonna blend over.
Look at those blisters. Not too bad flexibility though. Oh, I'm working on it.
He's doing very well. Aw.
You like that move, huh? I like that move. Almost 40 and I could still do that. Let me try that again. I went over. What is this thing?
The stool.
No, this thing. Island.
The island. Island Tom. The slow motion envisioning it.
My toe really hurts. I split it. You ever did that on a piece of furniture? You're like, you're chasing your sister around your kid in the summer. It's like, hey, I have this is a true story. I might have told this story like last year. My sister and I used to stay. Do you mind if I tell a story?
I love it when you tell stories, honey.
My sister and I used to stay home by ourselves during the summer, right? Like in 88, right? 89. And we were cray-cray. And my sister is 2.5 years older than me. And my friend used to say, hey, Tom, can we come inside so we can watch your sister kick your butt? Because we used to wrestle and she was bigger than me. So she used to do this move, put me in a headlock, and put her over her back, and I couldn't do anything. And this is a true story. I could not make this up. So I want to make sure I get it right in the right thing. So, what was it? I think I did it. She did it first. So what she used to do, she used to be on the phone, because you used to have a cord connected to the like, you didn't have a cell phone.
The wall?
Yeah, like a phone. And she would always talk to her boyfriend. And she was like in 6th grade, right? And she would do this. And I'm in 3rd grade and she's in 6th grade. And she's like the most popular girl, whatever. And we went to the same school, but I was her little brother. She would talk on the phone and pour salt on the table, like a whole bunch of salt, and write her boyfriend's name in the salt. And then she would, then she would just wipe the salt off the table, like a whole bunch of table salt off the table. And I'd walk in barefoot. And I'd get all the salt on my thing. So we started fighting, right? And so she started, I don't know, she probably punched me or slapped me or something. Anyways, she grabbed a fork, right? And we're running around this wood table. And it was one of those tables you could pull out the leaf and make it longer or whatever. So we're running around the table, and she has this fork and she's chasing me. And she throws the fork at me like this, and I go like this. Ah! And it sticks. Look I still have. And it stuck between my digits. Look at this. See those little dots?
OMG.
Yeah, I was like this, and the fork stuck in my hand, man. I was like, oh my god.
He's scarred for
I'm like,
life.
oh my
now.
god, get it out, get
He's
it
scarred
out.
for life.
And it's like, and she pulled it out, right? It gets better, and I cannot make this up, and I don't even know why, but it was the next year. It was probably in July because of the summer. I don't know. I forget how we started, but this time, and it was I had the fork, and I was chasing her, and it was the same thing, and I threw it at her, and it stuck in her calf. It went, what? And it's like, do I pull it out? Do I pull it out? Isn't that crazy? Like, what a bunch of savages.
That gives me like, woo. Oh, I think.
Were you like that with your sister? Like just little savages.
We were girls though.
You all never like really got rough?
I don't think so. Except for like I told you that time when my sister punched me in the face. We were in the pool. But that was about as close as it came. We were pretty. We were more lovable, but there were times just.
One time I locked her out of the house, and we had this big plate glass window like in the living room, and she started going like this. Let me in. I was like, I'm not letting you in, and she went. Whoa! And the whole window busted.
Oh my
And then
God.
we had to fib and lie, and so we called 911 and said that someone came by and shot a BB and everything. And I remember those cops did not believe us. I remember that. I remember her and her friend Lisa Ferris came over, and they were smoking cigarettes in the kitchen. And my dad just renovated and remodeled the kitchen. And I was at my friend Scotty Bob's house, which is next door. And then all of a sudden I come in there and half of the kitchen is on fire. And all I had is my swimming trunks on, and it's like, you don't wear chonies under your swimming trunks. So they're all scared. So I'd take my bathing suit off and I started pounding the whole tile of the thing. And I'm all naked, just pounding the fire. And my dad's whole kitchen got ruined. I got crazy stories from the summertime.
That's probably a lemon seed.
I don't know why I told that story.
That is funny.
I know.
Like maybe not at the time, but it's kind of funny when you think about the things we think immediately to do as a kid. Like,
yeah, well, not having supervision, and then I mean, you can get kids. I was a little bit of a pyro too. Like I would go play with fire too, like gasoline. I love gasoline. We would jump off of our roof into our pool. I would do gainers, 2.5 flips into the pool off of our roof. Yeah, look what I did. This is art, by the way. That's art.
That's a spanking spoon.
Did you tell them the story?
No,
You
I
could
don't
tell
know, did
them.
we?
You could tell them the story.
The first story was with the mitt, the oven mitt. And it was kind of cute because we were both I think we were just so happily distracted anyway. And I think he just accidentally hit the wrong knob for the oven, for the stove. He was actually turning on the oven and he turned on the top. And the mitt, we were like both of us going, and well, unfortunately that went up in flames. And it was the smell that went through the house that was the worst. And then this was on the other burner. So if you ever wonder why you see tape over across the burners, it's for our safety. The joke, and it's not a joke. You better have homeowners insurance just in case. You never know. But it happens, like there's nothing wrong. It's totally still functional. It's kind of sad, but it's kind of it gives kind of like there's a story that goes with it. So, it's about mindfulness and awareness, and when two people come together, maybe we're a little bit caught up and excited to be with each other that we forget that, there's things that could happen in the background. And, you can just use it to spank. Yeah, baby. Keep it interesting. My sisters and I, we were pretty creative outside. We were always out doing things. I don't think we were too violent with one another. I'd say the violence really started in school, because school has an interesting impact when you separate siblings, where maybe one sibling's older and then they start to commune and integrate with other kids their own age, and then the other sibling feels left out. And I saw that with my sisters and I. We have not quite 2 years between each of us. I was born in 74, Lita was born in 76, and Lori was born in 78. So it looks like 2 years, but it's more like 2.5 years and then another 2.5 years. Or for Lita and Lori, it's actually 2 years. So for me, it's 4.5 for Lori and 2.5 for Lita. I'm still whipping it. The whipping is always so much easier with the actual coconut meat. I will say that. Because to begin with, you need to make sure. The good thing is that the Blendtec and the Vitamixes, they basically cook. They heat up, so they will melt up any of this coconut. And it is creating kind of a whip, but if I were using more, it would make it easier for it to move. Because you have to cover the blade with these. And I don't have the smaller pitcher. A smaller pitcher would make it a lot easier. So let's see how it's turning out so far. Well, that's good. That's not bad. Needs to whip more. Give you see what I mean, where you have to cover the blade. So, and it has a nice tangy taste to it, but I really want it to be clean. It needs to be whipped up more because it's stuck on the bottom. See how I'm having to turn all this around. Oh, the woes in the kitchen. My sisters, no, not so much plant-based. Lori, the one up in Ithaca, the youngest, she has access to a lot of Amish farms and a lot of locally sourced organic farms. And she's very much like myself, where she will source out the best. Yeah, she still does eggs and chicken and meats and things like that. But she goes to the source and knows the farmers. As you know, Florida is a totally different animal down here with sources, but I have a lot of friends and we source a lot. We try to contact and find out where everything's coming from down here. And I really love that Tom's here because I wanted to start up a garden anyway. And I have been slowly over the years creating little planters and all that in my backyard, but it's more fun when you have someone else to play with. Hi, Belinda. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, if anybody's never been in this group before or seen this page, tell us in the comments your health and fitness goals. Tell us what's your overall life goal, what's your vision for your future, what legacy do you want to leave. So, we're going to whip this up again. Hopefully this will be the last round. This is the optional part. You don't need this. But it's always nice when you like the creaminess. Because it has a lemon flavor to it. I think I'm going to add a little bit of this vanilla stevia again. Because that'll kind of give it a little bit more of a tang. Oh yeah, this is going to be more like an icing, basically, because that's what this is. I think I'm going to add just a hint of water, because it seems like it leaves it. Oh yeah, the vanilla for sure. Just a little bit more. Yeah, adding the vanilla made all the difference. Like, this is already bomb diggity now. Before I wasn't so impressed. It was a little bit too tangy. I'm going to let you try in just a second. You are so going to love this. Yummy! Okay, last whipping.
Wah. 1 potato.
That's
2
it.
potatoes,
Look,
3 potatoes.
hold on. All right, so now I've cuffed Twinkles and Sparkles and give me a good whipping. Just one good one.
This is a personal little insight.
Don't be scared. That's all. Ah! Okay, wait. Go again. More.
See how I am now?
Harder. Harder. Oh! Thank you, Lana. May I have another?
It's actually leaving black marks on your booty. Now I just feel like touching your butt.
Okay.
After you try this. Uh-oh, do I have to assume the position? Yes, please, sir. May I have another?
How many you want?
What you got in you?
How about you take 3?
I'll take 3, please.
3 ninja. And I'll do a roundhouse over. Ready? Okay, one more. Hold it.
That's gonna hurt and leave a mark, and I'm not kidding. You better go for the other cheek, because if you hit it in that same spot, you're gonna hear me howl.
Okay.
Oh, we're in trouble. I won't be sitting now for the rest of the night. It really does leave a mark, though. On my butt, I was probably going to have one, but this black stuff leaves a mark. Guess that's what happens when things are charred. Carcinogen, right? Burnt means cancer-causing. So, that's why it's an interesting dynamic with the transition when food gets cooked. That's something I was learning about when I was reading this book, Live Foods. Oh, thanks, Emma. It's quite entertaining in the house. So, we have this cream sauce.
Oh, I want to try that. You don't have one post or pre-vanilla?
Hmm?
You don't have one post.
It's like a frosting, isn't it?
That is very, very good.
And so the beauty of this is it's not that sugary frosting like when we had on your birthday. Was it the birthday that we got one? Or,
Yeah.
Oh, they gave you one for your birthday, yeah.
Hey, did you put the lemon rind in there?
No.
That is really, really good.
I could have. I didn't think about it. Until
Especially
you said
if it was once it gets chilled. That's the bomb right there. That's really, really
it.
good.
You know it's going to harden anyway, so.
That is
I've got
delicious. Good job. Boom.
You know I lick everything. So. As I round it up. This is the best part. Emma, so basically, I'm going to pull it out and show you now. This is going to have to wait till after. That's so good. So, we have lemon mini tarts. I like to change it up. I like to say torts and tarts. So we have a crust made with dates and walnuts. And I put it in the freezer just to set it because these are really pliable so you can pop them out. But they're going to have to still be sitting in the freezer for... I put coconut flakes in there as well. Let me see here. It's funny because I keep notes of my recipes over on the side over here. And I have to alter them, as you can tell. So what we're going to do is put this nice cream sauce, just a little because you really don't want a lot. And I'm not going to do each and every one of these. In fact, what I'll probably do is put it on the 4 and keep these just as they are. This is a puree of apples with cinnamon and vanilla stevia and some, like, they're kind of chunky, and some dates. And then underneath, the crust is made with the dates, cinnamon, nutmeg. There's ginger in this too as well, because I chopped up some fresh ginger.
because ginger is so good for everything, right? Hi, Lynette. How are you, honey? And yeah, this is just very simple, plant-based, whole foods. None of it needs to be cooked. It's actually healthier that way. You maintain the enzymes and the nutrients. Yummy, yummy, yummy in your tummy. And so what I'm going to do is put some cream sauce on the top of these 4. I could have done the rind, but I didn't. So what I'm going to do, because this is the cream sauce, you see that? I used coconut cream out of the jar, the coconut butter. I used, was it 3 drops? I probably used about a 1/4 cup of water, 1 whole lemon, of course pitted. You can use the rind too. The rind is awesome. I usually will throw in some rind. Lentil curry with fresh grated ginger sounds amazing, honey. I'll have some, please. Yes, please. So I used 3 drops of the vanilla stevia and about 4 drops of the lemon stevia in this just to sweeten it up and impart those flavors. And just in case you're wondering, I'd say I used, because you have to cover the blade, I used at least a cup of this, the raw coconut butter. Has anybody else used this? And you could use coconut cream, would be so much easier, let me tell you. If you get the coconut cream in a BPA-free can, that would be ideal as well. It's an option. What I like to do with this, I have a special spatula. I have a special spatula. Okay, tongue twisters, right? So say that quickly. Special spatula, special spatula, special spatula. Hi, Shayna, how are you? So I love this color. Isn't that a rad, beautiful raspberry? I love this color. Cocoa butter and milk. You don't know the difference between them? Well, coconut butter comes from coconut, and coconut milk, it's more watered down. So what my understanding, if you're getting true coconut milk, you're getting the water with some of the desiccated coconut or some of the cream, but the coconut butter itself doesn't have as much of the water as much as the oils and the actual meat itself. That is my understanding. If anybody else knows any different, let me know. They may taste the same because coconut has that particular flavor. I don't deny that. That's for sure. So like if you wanted to make coconut milk, you could use coconut water or even just regular water and coconut flakes. You see yourself on the chopping board? What? This is going to be super yum. I'm trying to scrape down the sides because of the messiness of this. I didn't have straight up coconut fresh cream meat, which is better and easier to work with, by the way. That's why I had to use more. So it's got quite a bit in here. And like I said, I used some more water, which I normally wouldn't. So what I'm going to do, just put a layer of cream. And you can use this as cheesecakes too. I've done that. I haven't made a cheesecake in a long time, actually. I made the most amazing, this is 2 years ago, cheesecake for my girlfriends. Basically, me and my goddess girlfriends get together. Usually once a month, we do like a goddess birthday kind of deal. This past week, we did the Piscean and Taurus birthdays. So all the girlfriends that have, all the goddess girlfriends that have birthdays this month, last month, we celebrated. In fact, a little over a week ago, my girlfriend gathered. It was the first time I'd been to a bar in a long time. It was very interesting. It was not your typical bar, though. It was a rooftop terrace kind of restaurant setting, a little bit more upscale. Very sweet, down on Clearwater Beach. I hadn't been to anything like that in ages. Probably since last year for my other girlfriend's birthday. And for me, it was like a school night because I had teacher training the next morning, so I had to get up super early. But yeah, that was fun. I'm glad I did it. It
It takes a lot to get me out of the house sometimes. This is gonna be so yummy. Because it'll harden because of the coconut when it's in the fridge. In the freezer especially. It's almost like a buttercream, but a little bit tangy from the lemon. I'm trying to make it all pretty with little swirls, okay? And so Tom likes to tease me, and he likes the way I swirl the tops of things, like when I'll swirl up my puddings or desserts. I like to make like a little swirl. Now you're near the blender, Carl. You're so funny. Let's see. Trying to make it look like a little flower on the top. See, again, it's all about the presentation, right? And I'll show you what I did. Voila!
Well, see, now the lighting's not letting you see the true beauty. Does that show you better? Aren't those pretty? I'm really happy. Those. So the other ones I'm going to leave without the frosting, and these will have frosting.
Show them again with this light.
Oh. I think it came out better when I did that. Can you see that better?
We'll take some photos, y'all.
Yeah. So, if you have any questions, let me know. I think it's time to unwind, drink down the last of my little booch. Maybe I got a little time to walk the pooch.
Are you gonna take Buddy for a walk?
I think so. He's due. He loves it, and he looks forward to it just as much as I do.
I'm gonna go live on my personal when Lana goes walks Buddy, because I gotta prep my overnight oats and rap a little bit. So if y'all want to play with me, if we are not friends yet, send me a Facebook request and we will play.
Voila.
Are you done? Want to do a love spin boom?
Oh, yeah.
All right, we're gonna do a love spin boom, y'all. Thank you so much for playing with us. Thank you so much for spreading the love, honey. We love doing this. We love having fun. Ready?
Wait, we've never done this on this side before.
I know, I changed it up. You want to switch back? We can. I'll do whatever. I'm
No, we'll switch it up.
flexible.
We'll switch it up. Okay, love spin boom. Ready? Set. Go.
Boom! What?
Keep it raw.
Stay
rad.
rad. Love you.